All right, everybody, welcome into the big podcast with Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal, John Kincaid, Rob Jenners, B-Dog Brandon Harper on honestly a solemn Monday when everybody is, taking in the news of the death of Kobe Bryant. And, big man, we were going to be here to tape and have fun today and goof off and do our normal show, and obviously that's not appropriate and probably something you're not up for. If you don't mind just telling us a little bit about how you're feeling. We're worried about you and want to make sure we check in that you're doing well.
I'm not doing well. I'm sick. I'm just getting over the death of my sister. You guys told me the other day when I came in, it looked like I needed some rest. And I haven't been sleeping after Aisha's death because it's just, not thinking about the good times, but thinking about the times when I could have did something, or I could have said something, or could have did something different, or I could have loved her more, or I could have showed her more support. And the same thing hit when I found out this news. I was downstairs working out with Shakir, and my other son Greg showed me the T and Zim clip, and I yelled at Greg. So, yo, man, get that out of my face. Just get it out of my face, because you know how the internet hoax and all that. I figured somebody was just playing around. So I'm working out with Shakir. I didn't want to believe it. And then everybody's calling me. Is that true? Is it true? So I'm like, it must not be a hoax, because now the whole world knows this information. So now I'm saying, please don't be true, please don't be true. And I'm watching, and then you get the confirmation. And sad enough, then you hear his daughter's with him. I didn't do anything. I haven't eaten. I haven't slept. I'm looking at all the tapes, but I'm sick right now. And I know some idiot's going to bring up the relationship with me and Kobe had. Our relationship was that of brothers. We're brothers on this podcast, John, and we argue all the time. Am I correct?
Yes, we are.
So, but in real life, when I see you and your lovely wife, it's all about respect. When I saw Kobe and his daughters, loved them. He saw my kids, loved them. If you look at my kids' tweet, Instagram, he talked to Sharif yesterday morning.
Yeah, he was checking in. He was checking in on your son. Not an hour before.
So all the stuff that is documented between us, it was never a dislike. It's just, listen, this is what brothers do. I have a younger brother. We fight all the time, but guess what? I love him, and I love Kobe Bryant. I'm the first to say, hey, I got 4 rings, and I know I couldn't have got 3 without him, and I know I couldn't have got number 4 without D Wade. I know these things. But, sometimes when competition comes, the competitive edge just, So I'm glad we became closer. But I just sit back and say, what if? What if? And the only thing that's sad to me is I'm not going to be there. He's not going to be here when he walks into the Hall of Fame. I was just thinking about who's he going to call up to bring him in. Who's going to give a speech? Is he going to call me? Is he going to call Mike? Who? Now, that's not going to happen. So, people ask me how I feel. Now I got to go back into my not sleeping, not eating, not really functioning. And it just hurts. And it's just, hard to believe. Deion Cole said in his comedy special, he said, if you're 40 years old, put your hands up. And he said, you only got 30 summers left. And that's how I feel at times. But you don't really know how long you have left. So, look, I'm all about, being hard and all that. But after yesterday, I'm going to have to delete my beef and my confrontation clause. I don't want to do that anymore because you never know. So yesterday I just called all people who I had discrepancy and just said, look, man, I love you. And we didn't talk much after the phone, but I just wish we did. we're sort of like similar guys. Hey, family first, business, and I'll see you when I see you. Like, I have a lot of best friends, but I don't do the mushy talking on the phone thing. I called D. Scott yesterday and said, man, we need to communicate a little more. He's my best friend in the whole wide world. I consider you guys my best friends. I'm going to try to communicate with you guys a little more, but that's just how I've always been. It's nothing personal. It's just that, I see my family struggle, and now that I'm the guy to support the family, I always have to maintain that. So it's family first, kids, mom, dad, and then by the time that's done, you guys know what I'm doing at the crib. Sitting down, relaxing, just, recharging for the next day. So this one's going to hurt for a long, long time. I know he's going to be remembering all that stuff, but just wish he was here. Wish I could say something to him. And my heart goes out to Vanessa because she lost two. She lost her beautiful Gigi, who was born on the same day as my 13-year-older. And that's what really hurts. And I reached out to her yesterday. I talked to her sister yesterday and offered my condolences, but stuff like this will always hurt. Like when I lost my little sister, I don't imagine that. I imagine me going first because I'm the oldest. You don't imagine your sweet little innocent sister who never hurt anybody, who never said anything to anybody, who never disrespected anybody, who did everything right, who everybody loved. You never think she'd go before you. Never thought I'd be hearing about any of my teammates or any professional player like this. I want to see everybody get old like Bill Russell and Dr. J and all, so we can have stories. We still are the best duo ever created. That's not going to change, but I wish at 60 and 70 in the old folks' home or on the show we could talk about it. But he will be remembered, and everybody's going to honor him and everything. But for me, this is going to hurt a long time.
Can I ask?
I have a little brother, but I really lost a brother yesterday.
May I ask you a question? And I know that you just shared a lot there, and it's pretty awesome the way you shared that. And I'm trying to be as appropriate as possible. Is there anything that today you find yourself you regret? Because you two did a lot to mend your relationship and to move forward. But I know that a lot of people always worry about that when someone goes early or unexpectedly, that I wish I had done this or said this. Is there anything?
I wish we would have communicated more. But again, that's just how we are. Of course, when we saw each other, it was love and respect. And, he looked out for the kids, and I kept an eye on his daughter, Gigi, was a fabulous player. But so I just wish I could have talk to him before. That's it. Everything that happened. A lot of people like to look at the negative side, but I think B-Dog understands this as a Laker fan. The plan worked out perfectly. He won 3 in a row. I think it would be a more horrific story if we didn't win any. And everybody can say, if you did this, if you did that. No, we won 3 out of 4. And not only did we win 3 out of 4, we dominated 3. Wasn't even close. And then the fourth one, things happened and new people came in and, people were hurt, people were out, and then we just couldn't put. And then, changes had to be made.
And B-Dog, you've talked about you watched Shaq and Kobe was probably the biggest thing that shaped your life as a sports fan.
I don't think there is anything that I enjoyed watching more than Kobe and Shaq in action. They were, you talk about, like Shaq said, the greatest duo ever, no disrespect to Mike and Pippen. They were great, but this was different.
Oh, yeah. Two alpha males.
Alpha
males.
Yeah. Greatest duo, little big. Not greatest duo.
Okay.
A better duo. But when it comes to one little, one big, greatest duo.
Respect. But I'm not, I'm from Atlanta, and I'm not from LA, but I see videos and I see, pictures of people out in LA and just the love that they have not only for Kobe, but they have for Shaquille as well. Just to see that city, the world in general, period, but especially that city and the outpour and the love and the compassion and just the the joy that they have for one Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yep.
It's amazing. I mean, I know the Grammys were like, but
they didn't even give a flip about the Grammys.
That's the house house that you and Kobe built. I don't care. No, I don't care about the Grammys. That's y'all's house. The Grammys is there one night. You all won 3 rings in that building. I don't want to hear nothing about no Grammy Awards.
There you go.
Those people stood in front of that building to honor one of the greatest to ever put it on.
Yeah, it's a lot, dude. And B-Dog's cracking up a little, but it's
I mean, it was unbelievable.
So something that Brandon and I talked about before the show. What's the one thing you're going to take with you with Kobe Bryant? What's the one thing you'll always carry with you that you got from Kobe?
It's more than one, and everyone knows what that is. We were the perfect enigmatic duo.
You pushed each other constantly,
all day, every day. And guess what? I push my little brother. He pushes me all the time. John, I push you.
Yes,
push
you do.
Me. Rob, I push you. Beat up. Like it's what people who care about each other do.
Yeah.
My favorite stories are about the ones that, like for example, I used to watch all these great shows, and then you watch the real story of what really went on.
Yes.
It's life, but it was always respect. You know, people always, I said, look, when I won the first championship, who was the first guy to jump in my arms?
Kobe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, Cal, the two of you, though, your families merged.
Yes,
because
always.
Shaquille, you've shown it where, Rob's daughter and my daughter both can talk about their Uncle Shaq's. Like, you very much open your arms as family, and you guys learned that, and it seems like Kobe embraced that same thing with your children as you've embraced with ours and everybody else's.
Yeah, but when you're in that business, whatever happened in the locker room stays in the locker room. You don't take it out. That's an unwritten rule that can never be broken. So even, doing all that stuff is, hi, Vanessa, look beautiful. Hey, Shawnee, you pretty. Like, it ain't, and then going home, I never talk about that stuff going home.
Sure.
Yeah.
Never. And then it was kind of spicy in L.A. And it actually what made us more intriguing. People not only they want to watch us play, they want to watch, well, who's doing this, who's doing that. And look, it's part of the crazy business that we live in. But what am I going to take away? I'm going to take away everything. And I ain't going to get no sleep for a while. I've just been sitting up here watching old highlights and just trying to reminisce. We
need you to take care of yourself, though, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Can I ride you for a minute and tell you you need to take care of yourself?
It's easier said than done, brother.
I got you.
I work all day, and then when I come home, because when I'm out with out in the world, I don't want to use the word distraction, but it's a lot of stuff going on. Driving, pay attention to the road, talking to John, talking to Rob, working with Chuck, boom, boom, boom. But when I get home and there's nothing and nobody, that's when the thoughts take over.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, phone, highlights, Instagram, tweets on the news. Even if I wanted to just cry and get away from it, you couldn't. Everybody's calling because people know I'm not okay. So, you all right? Yeah, but not really. So yesterday, I took a nap. That wasn't really a nap. And then I woke up and I tried to go back to sleep. I haven't slept all night at all. Not one wink.
Yeah.
I'm not even tired. I'm just like, and then we got to go to L.A. tomorrow to work. It's probably really going to hit me when I get to the Staples Center tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
You know what he'd want you to do, though, right?
Yeah, I know.
You sure as hell know what he'd want you to do.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want you to be, he'd want you to be Shaq. And I know that's a lot to ask. Yeah. But he want everybody to be the best version of themselves, and he'd push your ass. He'd tell you to dust yourself off as soon as you can and get back to doing your thing. And we love you, brother.
Yeah.
We love you.
All right, listen.
You need us, we're here.
I know, brother. Appreciate you.
Right,
we love you. We're going to let you run.
All right,
just wanted to check in.
All right, Shaq.
Peace, big fella.
Love you. Man. All right. It's Shaquille O'Neal live from his home in McDonough, Georgia.
All right, B-Dog, that's
headed
first time you've cried in the show, and it made me cry.
I know, me too.
B-Dog made me cry.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, damn you, B-Dog.
It's not. Look, it's probably only two other individuals that obviously that are not my family that are in celebrity status that I've literally dropped and broke down for. That's Michael Jackson, and on my end, I'm a big Luther Vandross fan. When he died, oh my goodness, I
didn't
cried
know
like
that
a
about
baby.
you.
Yes, I love Luther.
Did your father introduce you to that, Mom and Dad?
Yes,
Yeah.
And I took it upon myself.
That's
so when
probably
he
how
passed,
you got here.
Well, yeah,
Luther
probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
That's how a lot of us got
it. So the next would be somebody like Kobe. So when I saw the news, I called Robbie because I couldn't believe it. So I called him.
Yeah, he calls me. He's like, "Have you seen this?" And I go, "What do you?" And I said, literally, the first thing I said is like what Shaq said. I go, "Come on, stop."
Come on.
I go, "That's not true." And I open my computer. I throw open the computer. I read the TMZ article, and I'm like, This doesn't seem. This can't be right. This is not right. I called you.
Yes, and then we catch up like
briefly,
10 minutes later, and then
I hit refresh
called
on the
Shaq.
computer, and boom, there it all was.
I immediately called Shaq, and later on I was regretting calling him, just because I'm thinking everybody's blowing up his phone. But he immediately took my call, and we talked, and we talked briefly, 2 or 3 minutes, but I could tell, and he says, "I'm wrecked here." He said, "I'm wrecked." And that's all I could think of is that to have such a complicated history with another human being that you're not married to or related to. Not many of us have that in life. That you're
someone that you identify with.
That you're identified with.
For the longest time,
right.
Shaq and Kobe was like a word.
It's synonymous.
It was just, it was a word.
And it's synonymous to tens of millions of people worldwide.
Yeah.
And as Shaq says there, and a little behind the scenes, I mean, Shaq very much, he worries about his mortality. He worries about, is everything going to be okay? Is everything going to, be all right? Is his family okay? He's constantly worried about, is everybody taken care of?
He's Atlas.
And he never takes care of himself.
He puts the world on his shoulders.
That bothered me a little bit.
It's you know why?
Because he's such...
It's disconcerting because he's not... I mean, he is thinking about himself, but he's putting everybody else ahead of him.
He usually does.
If the family's okay, and the kids are okay, and mama's okay, and sisters and brothers are okay, and the podcast and TNT and everybody else is okay, they come first. Shaq just texted me. Please make sure we identify the other members of the crash.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't want this to be all about Kobe, and he's 100%.
And guess what? We're just talking about Shaq.
Right.
And if that ain't the most Shaq thing ever.
Just came through on my phone.
That he's texting us saying, make sure you identify the others, because Shaq would have wanted to do that too. John Altobelli, the head baseball coach at Orange Coast College.
Who was an amazing, by the way, presence
700-plus wins.
Baseball community.
Kerry Altobelli, his wife, Alyssa Altobelli, their daughter, who was Gianna's best friend. Christina Mauser. She was the top assistant of the Mamba girls team, a woman who endlessly was instructing young girls at this academy
and
pushing it.
Heard her husband on Good Morning America this morning. That would rip your heart out of your chest.
Sarah and Peyton Chester, another mother and daughter, Peyton on the team, and her mom Sarah, and Kobe's private pilot, Era Zobayan.
Yes.
Who was also lost in it. But that is so strange, because that is the most Shaq thing ever. That after we get done, we'd ask him about the other people, and he's worried. In his head, he's worried about, wait a minute, I had to honor those people too. I don't want
this to just be.
Folks, that is
Shaquille O'Neal.
We clown around so much on the show, but that honestly epitomizes Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, really
that whole exchange epitomizes him. And Rob, when you say Atlas, that's so true.
But that's who he is.
He worries about
what
everybody.
Does. He wants everyone else to be okay, and he tends to not think about himself. And the fact that he said he's not sleeping, he's not eating,
it just bothers me.
It worries the hell out of me.
Yeah, it does too.
It just worries the hell out of me.
Yeah,
and
because
look,
it does.
You guys come to this show for comedy and fun, and Shaq's bigger-than-life personality, and then there's weeks like this where we don't have that.
Now,
we just don't have that.
This interview... And Rob's got it back, and we're going to let you have another chance to be able to catch up with it.
Real quick, I'm sorry. Before you move to interview, I want to thank a couple people. I want to thank our friends at Manscaped, who are going to be featured in our next show. We have a very fun show, by the way, that we taped earlier.
Oh, yes. It was a lot of fun.
That was supposed to come out today, that we obviously shelved.
We didn't think
it wasn't appropriate today.
So instead of having a new show next Monday, we will release today's show, and then we will release another one later in the week.
Yes. So you're going to get, but these are sponsors that keep our show afloat.
Yes.
You will hear our hilarious Manscaped ads in the next show, which
by the way, I heard
just absolutely
our Manscaped
epic.
ads are better than I've heard on some other national radio shows.
Well, there you go.
So we're
pat
really
yourself on the back,
or on the balls,
or on the balls.
It's Manscaped,
and of course our friends at Bet Online, who are huge supporters of the show, always have been.
Super Bowl week.
It is Super Bowl week, and Dave Mason will join us in the show that comes out later. This week. But both of those sponsors are very important to us, and we wanted to make sure we showed them some love, even though their ads are going to be appearing in the shows later this week. Okay, now, the interview you're going to hear today was taped back in 2015, and there are probably people who've come to the Shaq podcast, the big podcast with Shaq, a year or two into our stream. Yeah. That they've joined the show in the last, so they haven't heard this interview. It was the first time that Shaq and Kobe had spoken together in about 11 years. Yeah. It was, I think, 3 months into the show. B-Dog wasn't with us yet. No. We were, I'm going to be completely honest. You want to pull the curtains back? Yes. We were having a little bit back and forth of how long are we going to do this? Because the show was doing well, but we fight the schedule. And, everybody here has full-time jobs, and we bounce around. So then Kobe gives us the nod of, hey, look, let's sit down with Shaq. Let's do this interview with Shaquille. And this podcast goes from hobby to 2+ million downloads in the span of a week. And Dan Patrick, Sports Center. Colin Cowherd. CBS Sports, Colin Cowherd. Good Morning America,
Mike
and
Mike.
Show.
I mean, it was all these shows then realize, okay, this is a place where they can come for stuff. And that interview got a lot of buzz. Yeah. Got a lot of buzz.
And I haven't listened back to it in a while.
I can't wait to hear it all. It's an entire
And I'll tell you what you're about to hear, and I didn't realize it. It was taped before. It was in August. It was before Kobe announced that it was going to be his final season in the NBA. So you're going to hear Shaq say a couple times, man, get healthy, have a good season, love to see you. And Kobe even says, 20 years, what am I doing? I'm still going? I'm out of my mind. This interview, to me, is pure Kobe Bryant. It is so honest, and you hear so much of that Mamba mentality in the way he's explaining his relationship with Shaquille and how those days went. And
both of them are very candid.
Really, really powerful.
And listen to Shaq, without spoiling the interview, listen to Shaq take the majority of the blame for the problems in their relationship, which I thought was one of the most interesting parts. And Kobe doesn't disagree with him.
No.
Kobe doesn't disagree
with
him,
wrong,
which is fun.
Sounds just like a marriage.
You'll hear all about it.
Yeah, so, and thank you to Shaquille, who did not have to spend time with us today, and my heart breaks for him. All right, this is the moment you've waited for, everybody, and
the moment.
Shaq, you have asked once again for your dramatic music to be played.
Yes.
As you welcome an old friend into the house.
Yes.
Who is it, Shaq?
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest Laker ever, Mr. Kobe Bryant. What's up, Kobe?
What's up, my man? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. Listen, I think right now it's time to clear the air because I've said many times that we were the most enigmatic, controversial, most talked about, dominant punch. I just want people to know that I don't hate you. I know you don't hate me. I called it today a work beef is what we had. I was young, you was young. But then as I look at it, we won 3 out of 4, so I don't really think a lot was done wrong. So I just wanted to clear the air and let everybody know that, no, I don't hate you. We had a lot of disagreements. We had a lot of arguments, but I think it both fueled us. And I was thinking back the other day why Phil Jackson never really jumped in because he knew that you say something about me, I get pissed off. I say something about you, it get pissed off. And again, it worked. So thanks for coming on the show. I just wanted to clear the air. And I know we said a lot of crazy stuff, but I had fun doing it. Did you have fun doing it back in those days?
You know what's funny, man? I did. But here's the thing is that, what we did, our disagreements, what made those things special is that we said them to each other's face. And we didn't go behind each other's back and whisper to our teammates about this, that, and the other, right? Because that could just nothing but create friction, and it's cancerous to the team. When you get things out right in front of each other, you say what you think, and you have those disagreements, you agree to disagree, you move on, all of a sudden the integrity of the team is preserved. And then when you come out of that and agreeing or whatever the case may be, then the team is all the more better for it, because now you have more momentum. And I think that's what really catapulted us, especially on that second championship.
Now, when was the last time that you guys had a conversation where you really sat down and talked and maybe discussed some of the things? I don't know. I've learned, Kobe, that Shaq's not a man really to talk about a bunch of what's gone on in the past. What about yourself? And when was the last time you guys actually chatted?
Yeah, I'm not a very nostalgic person either, to be honest with you. I'm much, Shaq and I are much the same in the sense that we look at the jewelry that we won. It's can't argue that.
I mean, but you know what's fun to me? When was the last play, Kobe? 2004?
Yeah, 2004.
And it's 2015, 11 years, and they're still talking about it. So that's kind of funny to me. But again, I'm here to say that, no, I don't hate you. Do we have disagreements? Yeah, we always had disagreements, but it worked for us. I got to ask you a funny question right now. Yeah. Did your wife have a typo last night, or is your nickname really Babe-Boo?
No.
Yeah. It's Babe-Boo. Yeah. My kids call me the tickle monster. I got all kinds of little sweet things. Right.
Like, man, you can't do that. I'm supposed to be the Black Mamba, man. What are you saying?
Yeah, I love.
But Kobe, if you're Babe-Boo now, you know that maybe LeBron's gonna be whispering that in your ear. Some other players might be whispering that.
I tell you what, I do not care what they whisper. Babe-Boo will still drop 6.
That's a way to hear it. All right, let me.
But hold on, John. Kobe, I am mad at you about one thing. How the hell did you pass me up in points? How'd you do that? Yeah, but Kobe, you want to know what's crazy? I didn't even know where you was at, and I come to TNT and fat ass Barker said, your boy about to pass you up. I'm like, pass you up with what? Points. So I went to look. I'm like, damn, this dude got a lot of points. So you passed up the great Michael Jordan last year. What's next for you? I mean, is this your last year? What are you doing? You got 5 rings. You passed up Michael Jordan in points. You told me that when you was 18 years old, and I was like, okay, whatever you say, little homie. But you did it. Everything you said you was gonna do, you did it. What's next for you, bro?
I'm training and getting ready for this season. Like I can't. Like I'm really excited about it because this is my 20th, and we're absolutely
you old.
Closer to the end. Right? 20 years. That's nuts.
Damn.
Like, I couldn't imagine playing for 20 years back in the day, man. So I'm just getting ready, and I'm really excited for this year.
I was hearing a story, Kobe and Shaq, about the 2000 Western Conference Finals before Game 7 with Sacramento, that there was a phone call, and I actually read newspaper accounts that this is out there, that Shaq called Kobe at 3 in the morning because neither one of you could sleep before Game 7. First of all, is that a true story that's out there? And if there was a 3 a.m. phone call before that Game 7, can you guys tell us what you talked about?
No, that is true.
I'm gonna have
Shaq used to be up all the time. Like, we used to do that all the time. We used to hit each other up at random hours because we understood that we were the engine that was driving the team. So we had to make sure that we were connected, at that level to push everybody else. So, yeah.
So, but what was said? Were you like, before Game 7? Because that was, you guys, if you lose that game, in fact, that game was hanging in the balance. And
I'm going to tell you what was said.
Dramatic comeback.
I'm going to tell you what was said. I'd say, Kobe, you ready? He could be like, hell yeah, you ready? You ready to hit them free throws? I'll be like, yeah, I'm going to be ready.
So it was more just...
it was a lot of... Yeah, just joking, having fun. Yeah, that's all. Just checking with each other.
Yeah. Shaq used to come up and tell me, he used to be like, all right, Cole, this series we'll take turns. You get him this series, I'll get him the next series, you get him the next... You know what I mean? Like, we used to do that type of stuff. He'd be like, all right, Cole, go kill him. Go get him this series. And I'd say, Shaq, this is on you now. You got it now. So we used to literally alternate who dominates what series.
Was the 2004 team, Shaq and Kobe, the most talented team, even though you didn't win a championship that year?
I don't know, but the most fun we had to me, Kobe, was our first championship. Indiana during the finals. I can remember one game I fouled out. I looked up at Kobe. Kobe gave me the "Don't worry about it, big dog, I got you." And he came down and hit 3-4 shots in a row, and I was like, damn. And then after that game, that's when I said, this guy's the best player in the world, because he told me what he was going to do. Because I was like, I just fouled out. We're going to lose. It's going to be my fault again. But Kobe looked at me and said, don't worry, I got it. And he did that.
I remember the moment that was that was probably the most important moment for me with Shaq is when he had a really tough game in Dallas, and missed like 8 free throws down the stretch. Right?
Don't lie, missed 13. Don't lie.
13. All right. So, so most players would hide from that, right? Like they would look to blame somebody else or say, no, that's not what caused us the loss. What Shaq did, which was crazy, he came in the locker room and he tore the locker room to pieces. He tore the locker room to pieces because he was pissed, and he was pissed at himself. And he accepted the fact that cost us a ball game. He didn't hide from it. And he used that to fuel him to become better and to lead us to winning championships. And that's something that sat with me because I said, okay, he really, really cares about this thing. He's not just going to sit back and just kind of brush it under the rug.
Do you think you missed an opportunity, though, to be like the all-time best because of the fact you went separate ways? Then what happened? What happened with the two of you then? Why didn't it work out?
I mean, it's just, again, I'm about to speak for me, Kobe. I don't know how you feel. Again, it was just two alpha males. And then, the business aspect kicked in, and a lot of people don't know about that, but the business aspect kicked in, and, I was getting older. So, management is like, hey, you're getting older. We know you want this, but we want to give you that. And in my mind, I was like, I'm not getting older. I don't want that. I don't want that. And then they just wanted to move in a new direction. And see, the good thing about Dr. Buss, Kobe said it earlier, Dr. Buss will tell you to your face. Dr. Buss called me and said, this is what we want to do, and this is what now we're going to do. If you don't accept, we have to trade you. And I always respected Dr. Buss for that. I have no problems, no quarrels with his family, because that's how you do business.
It's the business part of it is absolute. I mean, it's it kind of is what it is. I mean, organization wants to go in a different direction. I think philosophically, could you imagine how many years would Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain be playing together? With Wilt in his prime and Michael wanting to come up and grow it. Like, how long is that going to last before Michael says, you know what?
Right.
It's time for me to show.
That's a good analogy.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that's why he and I are the most, we're one of a kind when it comes to tandems, because you literally had two alpha males playing together on one team, and that normally does not happen.
What did you learn about your game playing with Shaq, Kobe? And conversely, Shaq, what was the part of your game that got better because you were playing with a talent like Kobe Bryant?
Shaq taught me how to lead. Because he's amazing. You can see, as he is now, right? He's really outgoing, very gregarious. He puts his arm around guys. He always checks in with guys, always making sure that they're good. So I learned that from him because I naturally I wasn't like that.
And I learned from Kobe that Kobe was a guy that whatever he said he was going to do from age 18, he was going to do it. I knew that from Kobe because me and Kobe, we came in together. We played on the team. We had a lot of upcoming superstars, but we were in Utah. Utah used to kill us all the time. Only one guy wanted to take the shot. I didn't want to take the shot. Nobody else wanted to take a shot. This guy took 3 major shots. He shot air balls, and I knew then, I was like, you know what? This guy's not afraid. He's going to be the man. So I knew that when I got in trouble, when I wasn't playing well, I knew that he was going to say to himself, Shaq's not playing well. I have to step on my game. And he's like the only guy besides Jordan that I've seen do that.
You know what else? In 99, 2 things happened. I think Shaq realized that, this kid's really competitive and he's a little crazy. And then I realized that I probably had a couple screws loose because we got in a fist fight, and I actually was willing to get into a fist fight with this man. I went home, I was like, dude, I got to be either the dumbest or the most courageous kid on the face of the earth.
Now that hasn't been well documented. There was you guys almost went at it a couple times.
Yeah, all the time. We do that all the time. But see, that just showed me that this kid ain't gonna back down nowhere. And Kobe seen me punk everybody in the league. So when this kid would stand up every day, I'm like, this kid ain't gonna back down. I knew then that if I'm down by 1 and I'm kicking out somebody, he gonna shoot it and he gonna make it. So.
Yeah,
a lot of stuff that,
one or two things, man. He was going to beat the shit out of me. Well, I was going to get a couple good ones. And I was comfortable with either way.
Is there anything that, Shaq, you would like to take back that you ever said in the give and take over the years? Give us a couple then, if there's a lot of things.
I mean, like you just played where I said I wanted to be traded. I definitely did not want to leave LA. So, but that's how you got to talk when you're in business. Especially when you think you're in control. definitely didn't want to leave LA. You know, a lot of stuff was said out of the heat of the moment. I guarantee I don't remember a lot of stuff that they said because I changed my thought process of, you know what, we won 3 out of 4. What the hell are y'all talking about? This is not even really a story. It's not really a story. We won 3 out of 4. We're most talked about. Don't forget, we got the NBA record, 15-1. We should have went 16-0, but your man Iverson hit us for 55. We have the NBA record. So you telling me now 2 guys that got beef is going to lead a team 15-1 in the championship? That's never been heard of, and I guarantee you that record won't be broken for the next 30 years. Guarantee it. Nobody will ever get to 15-1 ever again for the next 30 years. I promise you that.
Anything you want to take back, Kobe? That was maybe like, or anything you want to clarify? Maybe that you said, I said this, but I didn't mean that.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. When you say them at the time, you actually mean it. And then when you get older, you have more perspective, and you're like, holy shit, I was an idiot as a kid. You know what I mean? So for me, the most important thing was really just keep your mouth shut, right? You don't need to go to the press with stuff. We keep it internal, and we have our arguments and our disagreements. But I think having our debates within the press was something I wish would have been avoided. But it did kind of create this whirlwind around us as a team with myself and Shaq and the press and the media that just put so much pressure on us as an organization. But, I enjoyed playing with him. I mean, I had a great time playing with him, and appreciate it to this day. I mean, I've learned so many lessons from this guy, like I alluded to earlier, in terms of leadership and community and camaraderie and things like that, man. I will say Shaq was a beast, man. I mean, he's smiling all the time. Now he's on TV and TNT, and you see the gregarious personality. And this dude will rip your heart out. And that's what I enjoyed about him the most, that he was as nasty as I was on that court.
Kobe, I got to ask you this one question because they tried to do it to me before I left, and definitely now. They always try to say the next Shaq and all that. Do you see the next Kobe in the league now?
Man, it's no. I mean, I'm kind of old school, man. So you have certain players that have that aggressiveness and that mentality. And then it's tough to tell. I mean, it's a different generation. I mean, I grew up playing against Michael and GP and all these stone cold assassins, John Stockton and all these guys, man. So I had that mentality, right? And you don't really see that mentality around the league nowadays. Everybody's buddy, and don't want to hurt each other.
Joking and right.
Kobe,
right.
Shaq's told us that he believes the NBA, the product, is a lot softer than in his day. Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. I've said that before too. I mean, when we play in the Olympics, the physicality in the Olympics is actually, they're more physical than the NBA is. It's the silliest shit in the world. The NBA used to be the toughest, strongest league in the world, and now it's not that.
Now,
I don't know what happened to all the 7-footers. I mean, I don't know if they just aren't.
You know what happened.
What.
You know what happened, baby. We killed them all off. That's what happened.
Yeah. Think about it. It's crazy. You can go back to when you played. You can name off 5, 6, 7-footers off the top of your head. I mean, you just reel them off.
Yeah.
Try doing it now.
Now
it's only 2, right? So 3.
Did Phil Jackson play favorites at all? Because I've read a lot of
never.
So he never played favorites because a lot of the press coverage says that he catered to you, Shaq, mainly because Jerry West was commented once and said that he felt that that's what you need. So psychologically, he played to you.
No, he was really fair. He only got fed up one time and he came in and both of y'all need to cut it out. And that's the only thing he said. I mean, it wasn't like a catering situation.
He managed the team like a seesaw.
Yeah, he really did. He really did. Actually, you know what? Robert Horry was the whipping boy. Robert Horry used to always come and say, "I ain't gonna be your damn whipping boy."
Yeah, he was. He used to get on Robert all the time.
Yeah, he did.
Which one of you would make the better team executive?
Don't look at me. I'd fire somebody in a second. There's no way. I just cut everybody.
Yeah, you would.
So, Kobe, what are you going to do? I mean, Shaq asked you, you're heading towards the end of your career here. So what does the future hold for Kobe Bryant after basketball? Like, what are you going to do?
Own a piece of the Lakers?
Continue to build this company, man. What I'm doing. Our first project was the Muse film and writing that and editing and producing and building a good team around that. And, I think storytelling that inspires people and, challenges the normal line of thinking of how to accomplish something, right? Helping them reach their fullest potential. That's what really intrigues me. How do you put those pieces of the puzzle together? And like I said, our first project was a news film, and now we're off doing other things.
I'm trying to think what the best team was, Shaq, that you guys played on, and I don't want Kobe to answer out loud. What was the best?
15-1.
That's the best team, no question.
15-1. Yeah, yep.
Same answer, Kobe?
Yeah, the 2001 team was lights out, man.
Kobe, I need you to do me one favor. I need you to apologize to your lovely wife for me, because every time I see her and the kids, I just go, hello, Vanessa, hello, kids, I'm Uncle Shaq. She says, you say that to us every time. Like, I just want them to know Uncle Shaq. She's like, say that to them every time.
As
they
if
know
there
who
could
you
be
are.
two. Yeah,
no, but
seriously.
that's so beautiful, so cute. I got to go, hey, I'm Uncle Shaq. We know who you are. You say that to us all the time. So tell her next time I see you, I promise I won't say that.
I got you, man. No problem.
Do you guys realize how much America is going to be shocked by this? Because this is truly.
But they're not going to be shocked. I tell y'all all the time. I said, listen, I tell you all the time. It's like a locker room disagreement. It's not a real life thing. Kobe, I would tell him all the time. I said, listen, if I see Kobe and his lovely wife and his beautiful kids in the restaurant, I'm not going to throw water in his face. I'm going to be like, hey, Kobe, Vanessa, hey, babies. And we just move on. Yeah, right, whatever. Yeah. I said, no, man, I read an article where you said you're going to kill him. I said, yeah, I did say that, but I didn't mean it.
Do you remember that day, Kobe?
Dude, yeah, of course I remember that day. And I was like, all right, well, come on then. It couldn't have been, dude, it was like, if you see this, you'd be like, okay, Shaq's going to kill this kid, and this kid is crazier than bat shit. But, I mean, really, his response to that and what America would think, that shows how different we are, because he keeps telling people, listen, it wasn't like that, it wasn't like that. And my response is, them, I don't care what they think.
There you go.
And that's how we played off with each other, right? It was like, right? I mean, it was, that's how we played off with each other. That's how we drove each other.
Well, you two drove each other to be champions together. Let me ask you one last question. Shaq, when you saw Kobe win a title, when you're sitting at home watching on TV and Kobe's...
Oh, I was pissed.
Okay.
I was pissed.
You were pissed.
Hold on. I got 4 first, right? So then I threw the little jab, and then he had a couple years. Then they somehow got Pau Gasol and Bynum, and they got 4. I was like, okay, we're tied. I'm cool for a while. And then he gets number 5, and then the reporter, you feel good that you got one more than Shaq? And the Kobe's like, I got one more than Shaq. I'm like, they got me.
So, Kobe, did you feel happy for him when he won in Miami? Come on, honesty.
No, honestly, yeah, I did, because I knew he was going to push me to win more, because I always wanted to get to where Magic was, where Michael was, right? So, 4 was something that was really on my radar, but it pushed me even more, right? It drove me even more. So when I got 5, I was like, I just had to, I couldn't help just kind of turn in the knife a little bit.
Good luck in the upcoming season, Kobe.
Yes.
Man, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Hold on. One more thing, Rob, the dramatical music.
He wants the dramatical music, as he says. There it is.
Kobe, I just want to say I love you, brother, and I miss you. I enjoyed the times we played together. Wish we could have got the 7 championships, but it is what it is. We're still the most respected, the most dominant 1-2 punch in Laker history. I know they're going to be talking about this. Yes, we are the dominant 1-2 punch in Laker history. I don't care what nobody else says. And I love you, brother, and I miss you, and good luck this year.